Today, I've got a special guest. Ordinarily, I'm here by myself, but I happen to be honored by the president of the Bossier Chamber of Commerce, Lisa Johnson. Lisa, welcome. Glad to have you.
Thanks, John.
My pleasure. You've been talking to me a little bit offset about all of your culinary skills and how that somebody such as myself should be worried. Is that right?
That's correct. You
Yeah.
need to be very worried.
Good. Well, sometimes I get tongue-tied, and today I feel like I might have one of those days, so I thought about just letting you take over and show us how to do a braised rice. What do you think?
Okay.
No?
And that completes our show. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, all joking aside, Lisa is here, but before we do any cooking, I'm actually going to do a little bit with her to show her a different way to make rice, so it will not only come out light and fluffy, but it will incorporate a deeper flavor, something that you can do at home with a great deal of ease. And we're gonna do that in just a minute. But before we do that, what I'd really like you to do, if you could, would be tell us a little bit about the Chamber of Commerce here in Bossier City and your role with the chamber and the things that we as business owners, such as myself, can expect from the support from the chamber.
Oh, absolutely. Well, at the Bossier Chamber of Commerce, we service over 900 members, quickly approaching 1,000 members in Bossier and the Shreveport areas.
The chamber, I know, is a nationwide organization, and of course each city has its individual chamber of commerce, and a well-run chamber of commerce like the one here in Bossier City is absolutely worth its weight in gold, and certainly worth the time invested in a membership.
Well, thank you.
Okay. In fact, one of the businesses right here in Bossier City is Home Depot, and that's where we're doing our show like normal. I like to thank the folks here at Home Depot. They always do us a great service by providing us a nice set that we can bring these types of programs to you. As I said before when I introduced Lisa, that we were going to do something simple, and that was just a different way to do rice. And when we come back, I'm going to get started with that, and we'll take you all the way through it to the completed dish.
How about we open up a whole can of Getting It Done and get this year's colors up on the wall this year? Let's get better prices and better paint. Let's break out the drop cloths, rollers, brushes, and tape. Let's start small, then go big, no matter what the budget. And when we're done, let's take a bow. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Behr Premium Plus Ultra, the only interior paint and primer in one that's rated #1.
Start a great new career today at Guys Academy Hair, Skin, and Nails, offering quality education in the Ark-La-Tex since 1954. Guys Academy, hands-on learning in the classroom and in the student salon with supervised instruction. Guys Academy, proud to be a CHI Environmental Partner School. Guys Academy, the latest techniques in hair care and styling. Guys Academy Hair, Skin, and Nails. Start a great new career today. Call now.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Cooking with Accents. Lisa Johnson's here with me, and we're going to do our braised rice that we spoke of. Braising rice is a technique that is designed to help suppress some of the starch release. What makes rice sticky, Lisa, is the incorporation of the starch and the water that when we cook our rice. When the two combine, they create a gluten, and that gluten is kind of a binding element. You can kind of control that by a lot of techniques, and one of those techniques is braising. And the way we do it is we have a dry, hot pan that we'll bring up to temperature here, and then we'll simply add our ordinary long grain rice to the pan. Okay? We'll just let that kind of make a thin layer at the bottom, and we're going to let that heat a little bit, and it'll kind of be toasting. Okay,
I was going to ask, is it going to pop?
No, it's not going to pop, but what it will do is it will start turning kind of a more of an opaque white color.
Okay.
And that's how you know you're doing it right. When it starts turning a brown color, that's when we've probably gone a little far.
Oh, that's how my husband says I cook.
So in an effort to keep that from happening, we want to keep the rice moving.
Okay.
Okay. It's not necessary to keep it moving constantly like popcorn, but you do want to kind of watch it. So this particular technique, as much as it is functional, it can also be labor intensive because it's not something that you just, add your water to and your salt or what have you, and then put the lid on, walk away, and come back 20 minutes later.
Okay.
But the value of it is enormous because of the texture that it creates to the rice. So if you can look and see here, we can see some of the rice here on the edges is starting to kind of get a little bit wider than the center piles. So we'll kind of keep it moving. And you'll smell it. It'll start kind of getting that sort of toasty smell as it's heating. Once we get to a point, which we'll be at here in just about a minute, we're going to go ahead and add our oil to it.
Okay.
Okay, and the reason why we didn't add the oil to it in the first place is because it would ultimately combine with that starch, and it would basically start frying the rice.
Okay.
Okay, and so we're doing it this way because the rice now is going to be, if you could look at rice under a microscope, you would see the starch molecules on it, and they'd be real sharp and jagged, and that would start causing kind of like crisp edges if we'd added the oil first. Now with the oil, it's a blend of olive oil and a little bit of butter. Okay, it's only about roughly a teaspoon and a half of butter and about a half a teaspoon of the olive oil.
Okay.
The reason why the olive oil is there is twofold. One, it has a higher smoke point, not a whole lot higher, but a higher smoke point, and it helps keep the butter from scorching.
Okay.
Okay, that raises the smoke point of the butter. Straight butter by itself, introduced to heat, will scorch at a very low temperature.
Okay. All right.
And that, some people can cleverly call it brown butter, but you can go from brown butter to bad butter in a real quick hurry.
Do you have something to say but don't quite know how to say it? Let flowers say it for you. Whatever the occasion, our florist at Country Village Florist and Gifts can arrange a flower bouquet of your choice and deliver it to that special someone all in the same day. Or if you're browsing for a gift item, we may have exactly what you're looking for. For over 12 years, we have maintained a reputation for excellence and customer satisfaction. Come by today. We're located at 4615 Highway 80 in Houghton.
Registered nurse Faith Peace and the Hands of Peace staff provide exceptional care for our clients, from folks who just want to relax to those with more challenging conditions. Our healing stone therapy is best for overall relaxation and therapeutic relief, actively using warm stones to melt the knots away. We have 2 locations to serve you in the Bossier City Office Park at Old Minden and Northgate, and inside the BX Mall on Barksdale Air Force Base.
How about we open up a whole can of getting it done and get this year's colors up on the wall this year? Let's get better prices and better paint. Let's break out the drop cloths, rollers, brushes, and tape. Let's start small, then go big, no matter what the budget. And when we're done, let's take a bow. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Behr Premium Plus Ultra, the only interior paint and primer in one that's rated #1.
We're braising rice, and while we were away, I added a little bit of garlic, but not all of it, because see, I want to show Lisa here a great way to mince garlic. Many of you might be aware of these techniques, but for those who aren't, you can pick something up here today. What I like to do is take a peeled clove of garlic, and I just simply take the flat side of my knife, and you don't have to hit it hard, otherwise you'll spray it all over the kitchen, but you just want to smash it down a little bit, so it's nice and flat. Okay, and then you take your fingers like that, curled inward.
Okay.
Okay, you put your knife down, keeping the tip of the knife in the contact with the board, and you feed the food through a rocking knife, and it rocks forward and down. You're slicing.
Okay.
Okay, and you do small amounts at a time, as you can see coming out on the other side of the knife blade. Okay, and you do that all the way through, and then once you have your mince, you can kind of make it in a nice little pile, and if you want it finer, you just simply do the same thing again by running it through. And now you have a fine amount of minced garlic, just like so.
All right.
So.
That will impress my family quite a bit.
Good. All right, we're going to put that right in there, and then we're going to see what kind of a student you are.
It's my turn?
It is your turn. I'm going to show you.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you're going to, yeah, I'm positive. First thing I want to do, I'm always the consummate teacher, so
okay.
I want you to show me how you pick up and use a knife.
Well, I pick it up like this.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right from Jump Street. Not because you're not doing a good thing, it's because I'm going to show you a better thing. Okay? When you pick up and hold a knife,
yes, sir.
Use what's called a pinch technique. And you just pinch your index finger and thumb right in front of the handle of the knife.
Okay.
Okay, and then you wrap your fingers around the blade. And the reason why is because you have more control over the blade that way. It's less likely to rock back and forth and slip or potentially injure yourself. By doing this, or what I call the Sabrina, I'm showing my age here, from Charlie's Angels, Sabrina, they would always enter the room before they'd go get the bad guy, and her finger would be up in the air along with her pistol.
Well, I happen to be familiar with that,
so
you can show our age.
Okay. Well, that's the Sabrina. People like to put their finger on the edge of the blade like that.
Okay.
But unfortunately, it's very unstable because it can cause the knife to roll on you.
Okay.
And if you do a pinch technique, you've got much more control of your blade. Okay. So, with that said, let's smash the garlic.
Okay, pinch it.
Well, let's smash it first. You just take that blade down. Okay, and there you go, just like that. Just give it a couple little pops. It's nice and flat. And then you take that garlic.
You want me to smash it again?
No, it's not necessary. It's not necessary.
Okay.
Pinch up your blade, good. And then take your fingers and curl them in, just like I said. And you keep that tip down. This is the dangerous end, by the way.
Oh.
Okay. And you keep it down and you rock it, slide it forward, and push down at the same time while you feed the food to the blade, not the blade to the food.
Or my fingers.
Yeah, but that's the point of keeping your fingers curled.
Yeah, I have a hard time with.
It takes practice, but your knuckles work as a guide.
You think? How's that?
Perfect.
Not as small as yours.
That's okay. Perfect, perfect. Nothing wrong with that at all. See, you're a good student. I think culinary school could be in your future.
Oh. Okay, we won't go there.
Okay.
That's what I have you for. Okay.
That's fine too. Okay.
Okay, you did all this fancy stuff. You did this.
Well, I just slid the knife. Perfect.
And then you did this. Because I'm trying to learn.
Hey, you're doing great.
Trying to pay attention.
In fact, I may have to talk to the producer, but I could be losing my spot on the show.
I don't think so.
Okay, well, we've got our rice all nice and braised.
Oh, that looks fabulous.
It's lightly brown. We added a little bit of the garlic. I like to do 2 infusions of garlic, so we're going to do the second one now. So if you would, just take the rest of our garlic and put it right on in there.
Oh, I feel like I'm on a really
perfect.
cool show like I am.
You are.
Yes.
And we'll put that
so
around.
Official.
And garlic is one of those things that if it cooks too long, it will become bitter. So the test for garlic, as far as its readiness in the sense of its incorporation in the food, is the smell test. When you get that real bold bouquet of cooking garlic,
yes,
you're there. It takes that long. You don't want to overdo it, because when it starts to get brown, not light brown like this is fine, but when it starts to get dark brown, it can get actually very bitter.
Okay.
So it's important not to overcook the garlic. So that's why I know it's time to add the next component when I can smell it very clearly, very obviously. And our next component is nothing more than some crushed chicken bouillon.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now you can use chicken base, or you can use the pre-granulated stuff. I just happen to have a few bouillon cubes and crush them and put them in here for us. So we're adding 3 of those. That's going to be all the salt that you need. By the way, we
need a spoon?
We don't. Well, you might, but all you got to do is just gently shake your pot back and forth, and you can see, if we can possibly pan in on that, what that does is it causes everything to flip over on itself if you do it in a rapid succession like that.
I think I would be throwing it across the kitchen.
No, you just do it gently, just like that. You can do it. Give it a whirl. There you go. Don't worry about its moving. There you go. And it just flips over on itself. See?
Oh.
Just like that.
We
don't need no stinking spoons.
Have I graduated to now class 201?
Not yet. No, that takes the incorporation of water. But, okay. And the last thing we need to do, because we've got our salt aspect and the flavor aspect, which is the chicken bouillon, our aromatics, which is the garlic, and of course the rice, which is now well braised, we're going to add the water. This is about a cup of water through the hot pan. See, we're really cooking here, folks. This is no fake show. This is real stuff. And we're going to let that follow the normal rules of cooking rice, which is roughly about 20 minutes. And when we get back, the magic of TV is going to help us out with that. So we'll see you guys in just a minute.
How about we open up a whole can of Getting It Done and get this year's colors up on the wall this year? Let's get better prices and better paint. Let's break out the drop cloths, rollers, brushes, and tape. Let's start small, then go big, no matter what the budget. And when we're done, let's take a bow. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Behr Premium Plus Ultra, the only interior paint and primer in one that's rated #1.
Start a great new career today at Guys Academy Hair, Skin, and Nails, the leader in skincare education in the Ark-La-Tex. Guys Academy, teaching the latest in skincare techniques, microdermabrasion, European facials, and more, taught by licensed estheticians. Guys Academy, using Dermalogica, Murad, and Jane Iredale. Guys Academy Hair, Skin, and Nails. Start a great new career today. Call now.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Home Depot. I'm here with Lisa Johnson with the Bossier Chamber of Commerce, and we're going to take the braised rice that we just did a little bit ago, and we're going to add our meat component to it, and that's going to be a chicken breast. But what we're going to do with this is create a gourmet dish out of leftovers.
Okay.
Think we can do that?
With your help, we can.
It's not a problem, I promise. What I mean is that we oftentimes will make things at home and we'll have excess of it, and half of it, actually, I think what the statistic is something like 17% of it gets thrown away. And that's a huge waste. So a lot of the reason for doing that is because we'll kind of get that ho-hum attitude of reheating something that we already had the night before. Well, I submit to you that you can take what you've already created and use it to create something brand new. And now it's not a leftover.
Exactly.
Okay?
I'm ready.
We're going to take some chicken breasts that I had, and I'm going to fillet these out. And I'm going to do this by doing a tri-cut, okay? And you take your knife. Now, I'm not going to have you do this one.
Okay.
Okay? Unless you want to.
No, I'm watching.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm going to take, and you put your knife right in the middle, and you cut downward at an angle, but not all the way through. Okay? And you kind of fold it over, and then gently take your knife. And this takes a sharp knife. Okay? And then we're going to flip it around, and I'm going to come straight in with the next one.
Okay.
Okay? Just like this. And I'm going to flip it over. Okay? Just like that. And now we've got a nice filleted out chicken breast. And now we have it nice and opened up. And if you want, and you want to make them really thin, you can actually take and cut all the way through and cut them in half this way. But we're not going to do that.
How about we open up a whole can of Getting It Done and get this year's colors up on the wall this year? Let's get better prices and better paint. Let's break out the drop cloths, rollers, brushes, and tape. Let's start small, then go big, no matter what the budget. And when we're done, let's take a bow. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Behr Premium Plus Ultra, the only interior paint and primer in one that's rated #1.
Do you have something to say but don't quite know how to say it? Let flowers say it for you. Whatever the occasion, our florist at Country Village Florist and Gifts can arrange a flower bouquet of your choice and deliver it to that special someone all in the same day. Or if you're browsing for a gift item, we may have exactly what you're looking for. For over 12 years, we have maintained a reputation for excellence and customer satisfaction. Come by today. We're located at 4615 Highway 80 in Houghton.
What I did during the break was got our pan good and hot and have added the oil. It's very important that you take your pan and get it hot first before you add anything to it. Otherwise, you won't get those metal pores opened up and the oil won't get in there, and you'll end up having that stuck pan. But in order to get a nice caramelization, you really should use stainless steel, or in this case, this is a commercial grade aluminum pan. You'll get a much better browning caramelization than Teflon coated pans will give you.
Okay.
However, if that's what you have at home, it will work too. Just you might have to increase the amount of oil that you add to it.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna do two different type. I've got a leftover crab dip that I had made recently, along with some baby spinach, and I also had a blend of dried apricot, smoked Gouda cheese, and that was created a puree that was used as a filler for another pork dish that I had done recently.
Sure.
And
okay.
a little bit of bacon, and we've got some key limes here. So what I thought I would do was have one of our chicken breasts with a baby spinach and crab dip.
Okay.
And the other one would be the smoked Gouda cheese and apricot filling, and we would wrap that one in bacon, and we would cook those up, and then I'll show you how to slice them in such a way that you'll think that you bought this at a 4-star restaurant. So which one do you want to do first?
Let's start with the color, the apricot.
Apricot, okay. This is the apricot and smoked Gouda cheese. The way we want to do this, I'm going to move my pan off here so it doesn't get too hot, is we make a little bit of a log, kind of like if you were using Play-Doh or silly putty or something like that. We make ourselves a little bit of a log, and we put it running vertically along the length of the breast that we filleted open. Okay, put that just like so. Wipe my hands off just a little bit. And then I'm going to flip this over along our cut line and then roll it just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to take our leftover bacon. I've got 3 strips here. I'm going to set this aside just a little bit. I'm going to put that just like so. Just like so. I'm going to kind of put these at an angle, and you'll see why. Just like that. And then I'm going to take the breast and put it right in the middle.
Okay.
And then I'm not going to put it perfectly straight over and over. I'm going to kind of put it at an angle. Then I'm going to take this end, and I'm going to match it up with that end and run that.
So it looks like a continuous kind of
So it
ribbon
looks like
going
a
around it.
continuous ribbon, exactly, just like that. I'm going to put that around just like so. And then I'm going to bring this one and I'm going to lay it over those 2 seams right here.
Isn't that fancy?
Okay. And then we're going to take this chicken breast and we're going to put it seam side down.
Okay.
Okay, right there in our pan. Just like so. All right, I'm going to let that go. Now while this one is cooking on this side and browning up nicely before we turn it, we're going to go ahead and make up our next one. And that one is the baby spinach along with the crab dip. And since the crab dip is soft and fluid, now this is actually from still in its original piping bag, I'm going to use this and I'm going to put it right down the middle. Just going to pipe some on it right there, just like that. Okay. And I'm going to take, normally I would use a spatula, but I'm just going to take my knife right here and I'm going to spread it around just like that.
Okay.
Might add just a little more because you want to have a nice covering.
Yeah, not to mention I like the taste of that.
Just like that. All right. Put that right back here. I'm going to take, and then I'm going to just layer some baby spinach. I'm going to try to run the leaves vertically along with the breast.
Okay.
The way the breast is laid open, as much as I can. Just like that, just so that we have a nice covering here.
I love spinach leaves, and they're good for you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Lots and lots of iron and several other great nutritional aspects that go along with baby spinach. And do just like that. Maybe 1 or 2 more to give it some density, because the spinach, when it gets introduced to the heat, will definitely shrivel up.
Oh, okay.
It will wilt. And we'll turn this just like so. And we're going to do the same thing, okay? But again, this is all about utilizing leftovers. This was from a spinach salad. And of course the dip was from a little appetizer that I do, where I fill I'll use like I'll make little phyllo pastry cups. And then I fill the phyllo pastry with the dip, and then I top it with like a Pecorino Romano cheese, and then I toast that and then serve it up. So
you're making me so hungry.
It's a really, really neat, simple appetizer. The dip, well, that one's a trade secret, but I'm telling you, when you put it all together, they're fantastic. But we're going to put this one on like we did the other one,
Seam side?
Seam side down.
Okay.
And then I'm going to turn this one here. I'm going to grab my tongs real quick. Hopefully.
Now, because we've filleted it, does that make it cook a little bit faster?
Yeah, it's going to cook it a little bit faster because it doesn't have the bulk of the meat to cook through, and so it's going to cook a little bit quicker.
Okay.
But it still needs to cook a little while. I'm going to turn our heat down a little bit because I'm getting a little too brown on my bacon. But you can see how we've held together here on our bacon. And that putting it seam side down is going to keep the thing held together. But you can also see I didn't stick to anything.
Yes, that's quite impressive.
Well, it's just about heating the pan to the right temperature. Okay? All right.
But that means I have to have patience.
Absolutely. We're going to let these cook just a little bit. Let them finish up. I'm going to pay attention to them a little here and keep them running. And when we get back, we're going to show you how this whole dish finishes up. And we're going to use that braised rice that we did earlier and put it all together and make one fantastic meal that you'd be proud to present to anybody. We'll see you guys in just a minute.
How about we open up a whole can of getting it done and get this year's colors up on the wall this year? Let's get better prices and better paint. Let's break out the drop cloths, rollers, brushes, and tape. Let's start small, then go big, no matter what the budget. And when we're done, let's take a bow. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Behr Premium Plus Ultra, the only interior paint and primer in one that's rated #1.
I'm going to give you the chance to taste these if you so desire.
Okay.
And tell me what you think of your creation. How's that?
I think it's great. Since we have 2 dishes here, I'd like to invite our communications director from the Bossier Chamber up to assist me with this.
You know what?
She helped get me here.
I would like it probably more than you would.
Okay.
So why don't you come up here and join us a little bit? All right. Put that one here.
Chef John, this is Kristen King.
Hi, Kristen.
Hello, Chef.
I suppose since you're new here, new to the set here, we should have you go first.
Oh, well.
Okay. Nothing like being.
I don't know which one to try first. It looks amazing and delicious.
When I'm troubled with such decisions, I use a very technical system. It's called eeny, meeny, miny, moe.
Eeny, meeny, okay. I'm gonna go for this one.
Which one are we doing?
Yeah, I have another fork here.
This one right here.
There you go.
And that one is the
smoked Gouda cheese
and with
the apricot and the roasted red pepper cream sauce.
This sauce looks amazing.
I made that all by myself.
I'm trying to be
okay,
ladylike,
not really.
but I really just want to eat all of it. Mmm.
How is it?
Yes.
Really good?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Excellent.
Delicious.
Super.
I'll see y'all later.
All right.
Oh, that
Okay.
is
That's
so good.
that's our crab and spinach one.
This is the one I wanted to taste, so I'm
Okay.
glad you picked that one.
Perfect.
Oh, I'll be tasting that as well.
Well, let's clean this up a little bit here. You'll be tasting this one as well?
Uh-huh.
Well, make me a little smaller bite. I don't need people making fun of me.
Big bites.
Oh, the rice is so
Well, if
good
I was at
too.
home on the farm, I'd be eating with my fingers and everything else.
Good?
It's good?
Oh, my word. That's mine.
No. Mmm.
Okay. Well, then I have to taste yours.
All right.
See
Well,
what happens when you bring 2 girls on the show?
I do. Well, folks, while they're tasting these great dishes that you can make yourself with little effort, with little time, and just a little bit of thought. Look at what's in your fridge. I like to open it up and sit back, and I kind of take a step back, and I'll say, I'll try some of this, I'll try some of that, incorporate that with a couple of added flavoring things that I might have in my pantry, and then I come up with something like this. So you guys do the same thing. You guys have been cooking with accents. I hope you had fun. I know I did. I hope you guys did as well.
It was fabulous.
Oh,
Thank
that was
you.
great.